Something strange is happening in America right now. While most people are worried about inflation, job security, and the market, the wealthy are doing something quietly, almost invisibly. They're buying land, not houses, not apartments, not flashy real estate. Raw land, farmland, ranches, timberland, even desert land near future cities. And they're buying it aggressively. So the real question isn't why land. The real question is, why now? Let's start with a truth most people never think about. Everything you see around you exists because of land. Your home, your office, your grocery store, the data center for your phone, your electricity, and here's the key difference between the rich and everyone else. Most people see land as empty space. The wealthy see it as future leverage. In the United States, land has always been the foundation of wealth. Old American money wasn't built on stock trading apps. It was built on land, oil fields, railroads, farms, and mineral rights. What's surprising is that modern wealth is going back to the same playbook. Different technology, same foundation. The first reason the wealthy are buying land like crazy is scarcity. They are not making more of it. You can print dollars endlessly. You can build buildings upward. You can create digital assets. But land, it's a finished product. Every year, the population grows. Every year, cities expand and infrastructure spreads. But the land supply stays fixed. The wealthy don't chase trends. They position themselves around scarcity. The second reason is inflation protection. When inflation rises, cash gets quietly destroyed. Money sitting in a bank loses purchasing power every single year. Even if the number looks the same, its strength is weaker. Land behaves differently. As prices for everything else rise, land prices adjust naturally. Not daily, not dramatically, but relentlessly. That's why during inflationary periods, wealthy Americans don't panic. They reposition their assets into real things, especially land. Now, let's talk about farmland, because this is where the deep money moves. Farmland isn't just land, it's food. And food is the most powerful asset class humans will ever have. Markets can crash, currencies can fail, and technology can disrupt everything. But people eat every single day. That's why savvy investors, from billionaires to pension funds, have been steadily accumulating U.S. farmland for years. Not because it's exciting, but because it's unavoidable. Crops grow, the land produces income, and the demand never, ever disappears. Another reason land is so attractive is its stability. Stocks move on emotion. Crypto moves on sentiment. Businesses move on execution. Land doesn't care. It doesn't crash overnight. It doesn't respond to headlines. It doesn't go to zero. For wealthy people who already have exposure to volatile assets, land acts like an anchor. It slows everything down, and wealthy people value control much more than speed. Now let's talk about privacy and power. Land offers something rare in modern America: quiet ownership. There's no public price ticker flashing its value. No daily judgment from the markets. No social media commentary. You can own thousands of acres and almost no one will notice. For wealthy individuals who want to protect their assets, their families, and their long-term plans, land offers invisible strength. And invisible strength is the best kind. Here's where most people completely misunderstand the game. They say, but land doesn't produce income. That's only true if you don't understand what land can do. Land can be leased for farming. It can be developed. It can be used for energy projects like solar or wind farms. It can be held until it's rezoned for a higher use. It can be used as collateral for loans. The wealthy don't buy land just for today's return. They buy it for optionality. They buy time. Let's talk about debt, because this is crucial. Wealthy people don't always buy land with cash. They use land to access cheap debt. Banks love lending against land. Why? Because land doesn't disappear. It doesn't depreciate like a building. It holds its value through economic cycles. This allows wealthy landowners to borrow money without selling their assets. They keep their ownership, they keep the appreciation, and they access liquidity. This is how money compounds quietly in the background. Another reason land matters is for taxes and generational planning. Land offers powerful ways to reduce taxes, manage income, and pass wealth across generations. It can be structured, protected, and transferred in ways that are much more efficient than other assets. That's why wealthy families think in terms of land, not just dollars. Money moves fast. Land moves slow. And slow assets build long dynasties. So, let's address the timing. Why is this accelerating right now? Because the wealthy see what's coming before it becomes obvious. They see the need for urban sprawl. They see supply chains being reshored back to America. They see the green energy transition. They see massive infrastructure spending. And all of these things require one thing: land. Warehouses, new factories, solar fields, data centers. The wealthy don't wait for the headlines. They buy before the demand becomes visible to everyone else. Meanwhile, most people look at a piece of land and say, it's too far away. There's nothing there. It's not producing anything yet. That kind of thinking is exactly why they miss the opportunity. The wealthy don't buy what works today. They buy what will matter tomorrow. Another reason land is so powerful is legacy. Stocks are traded. Businesses are sold. Cash disappears into expenses, but land stays. It can be passed down, developed, protected, or simply held for generations. Wealthy Americans don't just think about returns. They think about permanence. Here's the final truth. The wealthy aren't buying land because they're rich. They're buying land because land keeps them rich. It anchors their wealth to reality. It protects against inflation. It offers leverage without chaos. It removes their dependence on fragile systems. So, what's the lesson for you? It's not that you need millions of dollars. It's not that you should rush out and blindly buy a plot of dirt. It's that you must understand how the wealthy think. They don't chase money. They secure position. And land is one of the strongest positions you can possibly hold. That's why, quietly, patiently, and aggressively, the wealthy keep buying land. And by the time everyone else realizes why, the price has already moved. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights.